Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time, okay? I certainly hope you're not here to waste mine. So I'm gonna keep this short.
Helen, we're both in sales. Let me tell you why I suck as a salesman.
Most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Coffee's for closers only.
Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the Behind Your Back podcast with me, Bradley Hartman, and Jenny T. This podcast, we talk about leadership, personal productivity, time management, and quite specifically, Jenny, the craft of selling in the construction industry.
You have been so excited to do this episode. You just couldn't wait.
I said, no power, don't care. Freezing pipes, don't care.
To just come here in a snowmobile, no big deal.
Dallas getting snowed on, freezing temperatures for a week with no snow shovels, no snow plows, no salt, no plan. The plan is no plan.
Oh, don't forget water. Many people have no water.
Oh, right. No water, right?
Although there's a lot of snow.
There's lots of snow. Despite all this, I said, not only must the show go on, I've been waiting for so long to talk about this because it was a gift that I was given from a friend of the show, Grant Falco. It traveled a long way. I've listened to this 20-second clip 688 times.
That's no exaggeration. I have seen pretty much nothing that has brought you more joy than this clip ever, as long as I've known you. You've loved it so much, which I will just play it to just perk you up sometimes. It's totally worth it.
That one time we were with a client, and I think I played it 12 times, and they were like getting annoyed, but there's so much in it, and we're going to share it with you. So before we move on, I want to thank our sponsors, Jenny. It's what we do. Boise Cascade Engineered Wood Products. They help you move faster and build stronger. They make it easier to get more done, Jenny. They do. And our friends at Materials Exchange, they are the LBM Industries' answer to E-Trade. Materials Exchange is your digital marketplace for lumber and panels.
We got to just get to it. We got to just play the clip for them.
We're going to jump right in. Well, I also think, I want to set the stage. I do think like a fine wine. It takes a little time to appreciate it. So let's start off once. We're going to let it breathe for a minute, and then we're going to play it again, and then we're going to jump in. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, Grant. This is William. I'm just chewing on a Kit Kat here. I'm doing a project out of the, I'm doing a project out here at the golf course that I thought you might be interested in. Give me a call back at 6112.
Just chewing on Kit Kat here, Jenny. Just dialing for dollars, chewing some Kit Kats, enjoying life. The first time I played that for you, what did you think?
I did laugh very hard. I got a real good visual picture of like a mess. Like he has the Kit Kat in his mouth, it's crumbled on his lap, and then he's like, oh God, it's all falling everywhere. I mean, you know how that happens with a Kit Kat. It does give me a good visual, but memorable, but maybe not in the way that you would want to be.
Now, it got brought to my attention that potentially this was done deliberately, that the Kit Kat routine was one of the tools in this guy, William, and I do know his last name and I know his number. It has taken every ounce of restraint in my body to not call this guy and be like, dude, let me play something for you. Just walk me through what's going on in your life where this is acceptable. Hold on. Let's reframe.
Hey, Grant. This is William. I'm just chewing on a Kit Kat here. I'm doing a project out of the, I'm doing a project out here at the golf course that I thought you might be interested in. Give me a call back at 6112.
So listening to that again, Jenny, is it possible this is part of a routine? This was something very deliberate and intentional to differentiate himself from all the other schmucks that might be calling without a chocolate-covered wafer buried into the pitch. Is it possible?
I mean, I guess it's possible. I do not think it was deliberate. However, he could have used this Kit Kat shtick or whatever he's doing in a better way. Like, delivered Kit Kats to someone. No one wants to hear you chewing the Kit Kat. I can pretty much guarantee that's one of the noises I want the least on my voicemail.
That's true. If he was going to, and maybe this is where, maybe the joke's on us. Maybe another version of that voicemail is, hey, Grant, This is William. Beep. I'm just calling, chewing on a Kit Kat here. Now, I want you to go down to your mail room. I want you to check out the box I just delivered from FedEx 10 minutes ago. And you open it up, and it's like a case of Kit Kats. Still irrelevant to what he's selling, but now you're saying this kid's cooking with gas.
Yeah.
He's thinking, he's planning, he's watching FedEx from a GPS level view, knowing when it arrives, timing the Kit Kat delivery voicemail perfectly.
That would have been much better. I don't think I could have still forgiven the chewing noises, but receiving a Kit Kat, that does make up for a lot.
It does.
Hey, Grant, this is William. I'm just chewing on a Kit Kat here. I'm doing a project out of the, Yeah, I'm doing a project out here at the golf course that I thought you might be interested in. Give me a call back at 6112.
Oh my gosh, it brings me so much pleasure.
So how many times do you think you're going to play this on this episode? Although I will say, with every time that you play it, you're learning something more about this person. Like when you're getting beyond the Kit Kat and the chewing, it's like he totally forgot what he was doing.
He did. Yeah. So here's my take. I think he was doing something that I would strongly recommend. If I'm looking for a silver lining in this turd of a voicemail that he left, which is offensive at best, is I'm a strong believer in momentum when making prospecting calls, i.e., don't try, if you've got 15 prospects you're going after this month, don't separate those into 15-minute, 5-minute chunks. I would say block out 3 hours and get in that mindset. Make the calls because you will gain momentum. And I'm a firm believer in that. I've had success with that because you start just totally thinking about the mechanics of you calling someone else and how to deliver value and how to be different. So the silver lining is maybe he's doing that. While he's banging away and making the next call to Grant, he haphazardly forgets that it's also lunchtime while he's dialing for dollars. And then it went to voicemail. And maybe it was one of those times. You ever have that where you call someone and you're expecting 3 to 4 or 5 rings and you get 1 or 2 and you're like, oh gosh, right? And in between, you're jamming in a Kit Kat, maybe just bad luck.
Yes, I guess it's possible, but still, he seemed pretty clear he wasn't prepared here, as far as I could tell.
No, and he remembered who he's talking to. He gets in it, and then you could see he struggles to try to figure out what the hell the pitch is, right? Which means you're not locked in and you're not focused. Now, we're going to come back to this in a minute, Jenny, but imagine not listening to this. Imagine reading this. Because we have been trained as consumers between crappy salespeople and robocalls to never answer a call from a number we don't recognize. So listen to this again and imagine reading this. And if you've noticed Siri doesn't bail you out. If you say, yeah, like they transcribe all of that. And there's dots in between, like ellipses and everything. So listen to this again and imagine what this will read like.
Hey, Grant, this is William. I'm just chewing on a Kit Kat here. I'm doing a project out of the, Yeah, I'm doing a project out here at the golf course that I thought you might be interested in. Give me a call back at 6112.
I think he could have also spilled his drink on his lap for all we know, because there's also obviously a calamity going on with the Kit Kat and the chewing.
I think we've talked about this often. Multitasking is not something humans are good at. Don't try to do it. Do one thing at a time and focus on that with excellence. I will say this. The other thing that he does well, the voice intonation at the end. When you're leaving voicemails, especially if you're just calling lots of people, you are building momentum with prospecting, you're making multiple calls in a row. It's important to have a little voice undulation, some up and down. It makes it more listenable, you know? If it's all monotone, it gets really annoying. But he did a nice job there at the end. The 6112. Like he comes up. You can just see it go up at the end.
It was kind of peppy there at the end, I guess.
I like that. Good little energy. 6112. Like, It reminds me of, remember Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah.
He reminds me of that kind of voice at the end.
Yeah, it
when
is
he's
like that.
impersonating the guy, the Polish king of, I remember forgetting the details, the Polish king of Chicago, where he's impersonating that voice. 6112. Anyway, that's what I think. I think that's good. You should probably do that. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot to take away from this other than what not to do, unless, and if someone challenges me and says, here's what I do. I shove in an 8-inch dill pickle in my mouth when I'm leaving voicemails, and I tell them to go down in the mailroom and open up, a case, 24 packages of dill pickles in glass cases, waiting for them, blows their mind every time. I don't know. Maybe I'm the idiot.
If that is you, please let us know, because I would love to talk to that person.
We're open. All right. So bigger issue here, Jenny. We've been seeing this firsthand. We've been, for as long as we've been doing this, we've been trying to help people do two things. Number one, have a very clear, specific plan when you pick up the phone that adds value to this person's life or makes them think differently about their business so you can be valuable. The other one is you should not be surprised if you end up leaving a voicemail. And because we've been trained to not answer the phone, the act of leaving a voicemail is now a really critical skill in the process of sales.
Yeah, since we have received this call, we have talked to presidents from very large businesses like 300 to 400 million, in addition to outside sales reps. And aside from the chewing and the Kit Kat part, their voicemails really aren't that different than this.
No, it seems like there's a Mad Lib. You remember Mad Libs?
Yes.
Where you just fill in like an
they're fun.
adjective. Yeah, they're a joy. Well, it seems like the default, the lowest common denominator, what we would default to is, my name is Bradley Hartman. I was just calling for this reason. I want to tell you about who I am and what we do. And call me back, leave my number. Like,
Yeah.
when we have done a little pop quiz for people and say, just curious, you're going to call someone, they're a prospect, you're not able to get through, you're leaving a voicemail, what do you say? And again, from presidents who wanted to get more active in the selling process to reach out to other C-suite executives, as well as guys who are just really tenured outside sales reps, both of which I want to stress, these are very smart people. In many cases, they're extremely successful. So there's something non-intuitive here that's happening. And it's not that we're just trying to make fun of the idiots like William, the Kit Kat man, right?
Yes. And it does seem like just a really bad idea to do the conventional thing that everybody else does and just bunch yourself into the group of all these other fools that have called me and disrupted my day. I mean, that's probably how these people feel.
Yeah. And I think we should start off by just saying, before you pick up the phone, what is the goal? And the goal is to not get on the bidders list. The goal is not to do a takeoff to see if you can land their next project. The goal isn't to provide some pricing. I don't say whether you're selling shingles or siding or lumber or anything else. Your goal is not to sell any of that stuff. The goal should be when you pick up the phone, your goal is to have a meaningful conversation with someone about where they are today and where they want to go in the future. And if you guys might be a good fit to work together to help them get to that future. That is the goal. But when we've suggested this to people, again, smart people, successful people, they've kind of looked at me like, wait, so what am I calling for? You're requesting a meaningful conversation about the future of their business. Why? I want to sell some 2x12s and OSB. No, you don't. You might do that along the way, but why rush and get $1,000 order when you can get, $1 million order over several years because you guys realize what you offer, whether prices are high or low, is expertise with ideas and insights to help them improve their business. That's what we're calling for. Now let's take a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors. With customers in mind, Boise Cascade makes work faster, stronger, and easier. How? Let's talk about faster. Boise Cascade Engineered Wood Products has nationwide distribution. Boise Cascade is always close to you with the right products, on-time delivery, and local support. Boise Cascade also offers BC Connect. It's your engineered wood profit center. Their free suite of software tools for EWP dealers ensures seamless communication and collaboration between sales professionals, designers, and operations managers to keep your projects moving forward. And as we've discussed in previous episodes of this show, they also have their SawTech technology. Optimize, cut, repeat. The SawTech automated processing allows Boise Cascade dealers to cut 4 times more BCI joists compared to manual cutting. Boise Cascade's preventive maintenance program, spare part inventory, and real-time monitoring keep your business running. Faster, stronger, easier. It's not just what Boise Cascade does, it's who they are.
That is such a good point. So, as far as you're concerned, what does a meaningful conversation look like? Because I have heard you say to clients a lot, 3 years from now, what does success look like to you? Like, is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yes. I have consistently found smart people who run very good businesses, sometimes they do not have a very clear picture in their head about where they want to go and how they're going to get there and what success looks like 3 years in the future. And 3 years, it seems, is far enough out where it might get a little fuzzy, but not too far out where you can't imagine what that is. So I will simply ask, put yourself out 3 years in the future, all right? And I'll say, you've heard me say this. All right, imagine we are here in mid-February 2024. If you are looking backwards, what would have to happen for you to be happy with your progress? And for some folks, and we do this as well, right? We just take notes, we reorganize them and say, this is what you said to us. And sometimes they get immense value from that by allowing us to help them articulate what that vision looks like. Mm-hmm. So once they have done that, they have articulated the vision of the future, then the question is, all right, do we think we can help them get there? We might offer some ideas. And then we'll say, well, what dangers do you see, in your path? What sort of obstacles are in your way? But also, what strengths do you have that you really want to capitalize on that give you a competitive advantage in the market? And how do we make sure we build on those things? That's it. That's the meaningful conversation. 3 years in the future, what has to happen? What sort of dangers, risks, and strengths are in this path as you guide forward? But that alone, that can constitute a really meaningful conversation.
So to reiterate, that should be your goal. Your goal should be to have a meaningful conversation with them about where they want to go into the future, not to be chewing a Kit Kat on the line.
Yeah. And I think if you look at what's happening right now in our business in general, Jenny, prices are through the roof. Supply chains have been disrupted between the weather and the pandemic and everything else. Many of these product lines are going on allocation. Business is so complex right now. Why would we want to rush to the end and talk about pricing today? Mm-hmm. When we can provide a perspective on all these different things that we are experts in that they are not. So why rush to the end to talk about pricing when there's so many meaningful things in their business that are causing them pain and are potentially ways that we can help them?
Yes, and you have been talking nonstop lately about the importance of giving people second opinions.
Yes. When prices go up, Jenny, what do? Price goes up on your car insurance, what do?
Get a second opinion.
Hypothetically, you throw 400 baseballs in one afternoon and you jack your shoulder up, and the first surgeon you go to says you're going to need surgery. What do?
Get a second opinion.
You get a second, damn right you do. That's what we do. Well, guess what? If we don't think our own customers are doing that now, we're insane because you have undoubtedly increased their prices. And anyone who's a non-customer, who is a customer of your top competitor, everybody's open for a second opinion. So I went into detail, episode 181, which came out 2 days ago. You should listen to that. Now is the time to talk to people, to offer a second opinion on prices, on products, on processes. Everybody is open to a second opinion now. So again, that's the goal. So let's transition, Jenny, before I go on too long. What happens? How do we think about when we leave a voicemail? In the event you do not talk to this person, Jenny, that means you are going to leave a voicemail. So I think you know it's coming. If you're going to leave a voicemail, to set the stage for what a voicemail should and shouldn't be, what should we do?
Definitely don't be Kit Kat guy.
Hey, Grant, this is William. I'm just chewing on a Kit Kat here. I'm doing a project out of the, I'm doing a project out here at the golf course that I thought you might be interested in. Give me a call back at 6112.
6112. All right, Jenny, what's so bad about that?
Well, he has no purpose, really.
Nope.
He's chewing.
He's chewing. He's distracted. He's thinking about something else. Forgets why he calls.
And he's not really clear, like his name isn't very clear. Because we played this for other clients and they couldn't really discern his first and last name.
Right. Everyone gets the William within one or two. Now, I do know his last name. Have I spent hours researching him online? Yes, I have. Am I going to share that with you? No, I will not. But work has been done on this. All right, Jenny, say we're coaching this clown, William. And in addition to Grant Falco, he called a whole bunch of other people. He went through the Gobstoppers. He went through Kit Kat. Can you imagine what it sounded like Milk Duds?
Starburst?
You're throwing,
God.
very similar,
Yeah.
right? And you're just like, I can just feel it right now, just gumming it up while you're kind of grinding through. It's got to have another pink Starburst. What would we coach him on? How would we say, let's take a step back, put the sugar down, William, and focus on what you're doing? You're interrupting somebody. Here's a way you can deliver value. What's step one?
We have a very handy tool, our RRI framework.
This is true. If nothing else, an RRI framework, and we've talked about this, if you're a longtime listener, you've certainly heard us talk about this before. We have made the RRI notepad available, as we will again here, free for download. The RRI framework is what I found when I was reverse engineering, when I was on the other side of the desk, working for Pulte as a purchasing manager. I would get 45 voicemails. At the end of the day, I would try to listen to them as fast as possible. And I would figure out, if I got 15 minutes left, who am I going to call back? And the RRI framework represents what the best salespeople did that made them rise to the top of the list. And the first R stands for a referral. They mentioned someone that they knew that I knew. So immediately, I'm not some random guy named William. Beep. I am a friend of a friend, right? You're co-opting credibility. The second R is prove that I've done some research. I'm not some random sales guy dialing for dollars with a Kit Kat shoved in my cheek. I have done research. I'm calling you for a specific reason. And the I stands for either an idea or an insight. When you combine those three, right, referral, research, and insight, that immediately will differentiate you from everybody else.
And we have the NFPOs, which we also talk about a lot, which can help you with your insights. Those stand for needs, fears, pain, and opportunities for growth. So figure that out about the person you're calling before you call them.
Exactly. Jenny, a little pop quiz for you. What's the number one rule in sales I always talk about? What's the number one rule?
This is a hard quiz.
I normally don't quiz you like this.
No, you don't. I often fail these on the spot
Look at
quizzes.
you like rubbing your eyes like this is painful.
Yeah, it is painful. What is the number one
Number
rule in
one
sales?
rule, it's not about
You.
There you go.
Yes.
It's not about you. I want to call and tell you about who I am. Stop, don't care. I'm going to tell you about my company, what we do. Stop, don't care. You know what I care about? I care about myself, my personal self-interest, and my needs, fears, pain, and opportunities for growth. If you are calling and you have a referral, co-opting some credibility, you've done some research, you have an idea or an insight, and you have thought about this human being and his or her needs, fears, and pain, and opportunities for growth, and you have questions for them, you're there. Right there, you have put yourself in the top 5% of all knuckleheads who are making phone calls today as salespeople.
Drastically better than Kit Kat guy.
And really, Jenny, that's it. So I think there's only one thing we need to do is provided all this just one more time.
I don't think so. I think they've had enough. I think we played it 5 times.
Just one more time.
Hartman. I think that's enough. We've got to close it out.
You know what? It's my face on the podcast.
I knew it would come to this.
Hey, Grant, this is William. I'm just chewing on a Kit Kat here. I'm doing a project out of the, Yeah, I'm doing a project out here at the golf course that I thought you might be interested in. Give me a call back at 6112.
6112. All right, Jenny. Oh,
I think we've put them through enough.
I think so. And here's what I'm going to tell you not to do. Do not look up Grant Falco and do not leave him a bunch of other ridiculous voicemails. I don't know how often he gets these, and I truly want to thank him for sharing this with me. Jenny, quite frankly, I'm trying to think of ways that my spouse or children, or you, quite frankly, have brought me more joy than Kit Kat guy. I'm still struggling to find anything.
I don't know if anyone has. If you have received voicemails like this, Please send him ASAP. It will delight Bradley beyond comprehension.
Do you remember what happened that morning though? It came in. Like I had my morning lined up. I was going to dominate. I had some writing to do. It totally destroyed. I listened to that thing 100 times in the morning. I got no work done. And I'd just been dreaming of this podcast with you, Jenny, talking about Kit Kat Guy.
Okay, I think we've got to wrap it up. If we just keep talking, you're going to play it again. I know it's going to happen. No.
Just one more?
We have to go.
Final send-off?
We've got to go. We've got to thank our sponsors.
Kit Kat?
I only wish. I mean, sure. I'd love to have Kit Kat as a sponsor, wouldn't you?
True or false? Since I first introduced this, you have purchased a Kit Kat.
For sure, yes.
I bought 3 of them. Now I like chuckle when I'm like, all right, throw it on top. No, not Kit Kat, but if you're interested, call me. All right. We want to thank Boise Cascade. Faster, stronger, easier. It's not just who they are, it's what Boise Cascade Engineered Wood Products does, and our friends at Materials Exchange. What E-Trade is for the stock market, Materials Exchange is to the LBM industry. They make commodity pricing transparent, buying simple, and the fees are low. Jenny, you can place your first order. I know you've been dying to buy some 2x12s from Canada. You can register today and use the promo code BRADLEY, BRADLEY, to get your first trade free. That's all we got, Jenny. Let's close it out like we always do. You are owed nothing.
Deliver value first.
Thanks for listening, and remember, 6112.